You look so uncomfortable.
There's no
Why do
time.
you-
There's not enough time in a day. We can't think. We don't have a topic for you guys today.
No, I feel like lately we've just kind of been freeballing it.
I think a lot of the topics have just turned into sharing our fucking week, our life,
Well,
our
yeah, because our life
journey.
is a little bit chaotic right now. So I feel like that's the most exciting thing to talk about.
Yeah, it
It's like
is.
this week, I lost my shit again.
Did we have any breakdowns this week?
Fuck yeah. Do you not remember my 2-day long breakdown?
Oh yeah, there was that break. That was
probably
was
the worst
intense.
breakdown I've had in a couple of months.
that was it. But you know what? Look how much we've
I cried a lot.
Look how much we've grown since that last breakdown.
Yeah.
Like not just us, I'm saying like the family, like the kids.
I think that last breakdown was an eye opener for Mason because
the oldest,
he jumped in like
with the quickness
and has been helping. Yeah, I lost my shit this week, y'all. I had an emotional breakdown.
I think there's like a name or something for it when, as a mother, things can get very overwhelming, and some people can handle like very overwhelming moments better than others. And I think, like, is it like neurodivergent or something that's just like
where you just like hit a breaking point?
Like you're not wired for it. You're just not wired for that. And I've noticed that when things like you handle it very well, but when things start to pile up and everybody is saying mommy at the same time, and you have 5 kids asking you, now 6 kids asking you for things, and you're feeling like you want to give me a certain amount of love and attention. And I think once it all piles up, it just, you hit a breaking point. I think anybody would, but I just think there's some people that are wired differently to where how it affects them mentally.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm really patient until I am not, and then I just kind of I explode a little bit.
But like, what could you be doing in between those moments when you're like, this is getting a little over, before it gets to that, like, I'm going to have a complete breakdown?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'll talk about it in therapy.
Will you?
Maybe.
Do you think that little that guy with
No.
with no kids can help?
No, I probably need to talk to a woman that has had kids.
If you're a mom, parent,
you need to have at
listener,
least 3 kids, though, not to like discredit anybody that doesn't have more than that.
You
but
need to be outnumbered.
You need to understand what it's like.
You need to be outnumbered.
Very outnumbered.
Yeah.
Not just 2 to 1 here, people. 5 to 1.
Yeah. 6 to 1.
6 to 1 most days. Yeah.
Half a dozen the other. Okay.
I am Mama Chicken.
Yeah, you run the coop, that's for sure. You know, and I was thinking this morning, like, in a way that I'm wired differently is, and I know I've shared this many times, but it hit me again this morning, is fucking alcohol. I don't even get drunk, people. I don't even get drunk, but the next day after even just having 1 to 3 seltzers throughout the day, I'm not even talking back to back, I'm talking throughout the day. Today I wake up and I'm instantly in my head in a negative, I'm like the negative Kirby is in full effect.
You don't even have the typical hangovers. Well, you don't drink enough to get a hangover, but you get an emotional hangover every time.
Every time. Fucking time. And it gets to the point where I'm like, it's not even worth it. I mean, there's some people out there that can casually have 1-2 drinks. There's other people out there that 1 drink means 7 drinks and they can't stop, and then that's a problem. And then there's people like me who can have the alcohol, spread it throughout the day,
have a good time while drinking it too. Like, it's not,
be happy, be myself. And then the next fucking morning, this person gets in my head and is like, you suck.
You're not good enough.
You're not good enough.
Yeah, you said a couple things today that made me a little bit sad.
I had to even push through some tears this morning. Like, I wasn't even feeling like there was nothing wrong. There's nothing happening. But the person in my head started making me want to like tear up and cry.
Yeah, that's how I felt a few days ago when I had my breakdown.
Yeah.
But alcohol didn't cause it. Children did.
Well,
equally toxic. Just kidding. Cut that out.
So yeah, I'm not going to. I'm past editing. If you guys haven't noticed, like, my time is limited. what is captured in these recordings on video, on
We
audio,
should let everybody know, full disclosure, there are no edits. This is raw.
Yeah, there aren't. There are like
raw content.
literally I slap on for the audio that y'all listen to if you're not watching it on YouTube. This is what you get. And I put the little song on it in the beginning, the intro, the end piece, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's what you guys are
I
getting.
think it's best that way,
I hope y'all
though.
still like it.
I think
It's
it's
real
best
and it's
that way.
raw, and this
It
is
is.
it. This
Yeah.
is it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
So no more alcohol for you.
I don't know though, because like there's a part of that scares me where I don't feel like I'm adulting enough. Like I don't feel like
God, no.
I'm adulting enough if I don't have a casual drink with you.
See, to me, it wouldn't affect it at all. You adult just fine regardless.
I think I could get by with just drinking some like.
I will say, can I just say one thing?
Say
when
it.
you do have a drink or two, you get really fun the night of.
Oh yeah,
you get really like you let loose in a way that you don't at any other time.
Yeah,
but
I don't think. Okay. now I'm like, okay, wait a second. Let me see how I can make this still work. I don't always get the emotional.
You
hangover.
don't. In fact, most times you don't.
I wonder if it has to line up and track with hormonal stages of some type of crash, because like both of us were kind of questioning, like we're not really tracking our monthly cycle, but like whether we sync or not, like our bodies have been trying to sync up for a year now, and like have been so confused by
it's so confused that we've synced up and then lost the sync by like 2 weeks. Like I have done a full fucking circle over here.
Yeah.
It's been chaos.
And like the last time, like I was damn near, pregnant 2 months late. And I was like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And it was like my body was
trying to carrying that child.
I was carrying your child for sure. And then all of a sudden, like I'm thinking, are we about to get our periods? Because we were both feeling a little certain types of ways, and we're like, what's happening? So maybe the alcohol lining up with the hormonal stage where it falls in the cycle, like there's some kind of.
I'm curious to hear if anybody else has that. Like I know people get emotional hangovers,
but even like during my cycle, and I can get so like I can be gearing up to start my period, and like everything that's going on internally is like, fuck you, you don't need to exist, you should die, and just end it all. And like then I get my period and I'm like, well, I made it through another cycle, and I didn't.
You feel like that happens every month?
Yeah. Like a depression every month of like, I feel really low before I get my period. So I'm wondering if that drinking has something to do when I get closer to my cycle. It like leans into it, because I've had moments, and that's why I don't drink the way I do, or the way other people can, is because I can hit a really low place to where the thoughts can get so scary that it teeters between, is this going to like am I going to lean into that feeling, or am I going to be able to pull back?
The other thing is, I wonder if it's certain types of alcohol, because I know for me, like certain hard liquors, even if it's in a margarita or whatever, tequila will make me angry. I get kind of angry if I have that drink specifically. So maybe like seltzers make you sad.
I don't know. Sad seltzers? Fuck off. No, but like I had a therapist tell me like before, because I've brought this conversation to therapy, not my current therapist, but
in the past,
like 3 therapists ago. I was like, yo, what type of alcohol can I drink if I'm in a social setting and I want to be a casual, sociable drinker?
Right.
And they said, drink tequila. It's the one upper. Like you should be fine drinking tequila. Now, I don't personally like. I was like literally sipping on tequila on ice. Like,
ew,
on
no.
the rocks.
See, I think your better bet would be like get yourself a margarita and sip on that all night.
I would say like my Captain Morgan. That's my
your
go-to.
Yeah,
that is my go-to.
And that one doesn't seem to make you sad, so stick with that.
Maybe. Okay, like moving past that.
This is an AA meeting.
Is it? I want to talk a little bit about our children starting to get more comfortable with the term gay and understanding
Okay,
the gayness.
if you're listening or watching, what the fuck is the YouTube trend, TikTok trend that's going around?
I don't think any of our listeners are going to know this. This is
all
like
right,
a
our
Gen
kids
Z, Gen
showed
Alpha.
us this new trend that it's like move if you're gay.
So
it's like red light, green light.
it's
Y'all turned into like, are you fucking straight or gay?
So like, here's the deal. Our kids are playing this game
in the park, in public,
where they say English or Spanish. For whatever reason, that's how this person on TikTok starts out the intro of everything. English or Spanish. Somebody picks English, or I don't know, maybe they do. I haven't seen enough, but maybe they do pick Spanish at some point if they speak Spanish. So you pick English, and then you say, they play a song. It's like a Drake song or something, right? I don't even remember the song.
Yeah.
They play a song, and then you have to stay completely still. So our kids were like, when I first discovered it, they're in the car. The song comes on, they start playing the game, and they freeze up, and they're all little statues. I've never seen any of our kids be this fucking still and silent in my life.
I thought the same thing when
and
I saw
I'm
it.
like, oh, this is a nice game, right? You think so? You think it's a nice game.
It is a nice game if it was worded differently.
But then the second you move, you're gay.
Yeah.
That's the game. And I was like, scratching my head. I'm like,
but it's funny because the way that our kids play it, like if they fuck up and they like, I think it was maybe Jet that moved on accident, and he's like, but I'm straight.
Yeah, they're like,
sure
arguing.
That everybody knew.
And like lately, that's been the topic in the house between the boys. Is like, my 7-year-old Jet is questioning, okay, what does it mean to be gay?
So who am I attracted to? What am I attracted to?
So we explain it to him, and then he's like, oh no, I'm straight. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Which I think is probably, that's probably somewhat normal for a group of boys that now have two moms that have never had two moms before and are getting used to calling us moms, addressing us as their parents in public.
Well, and seeing us be very affectionate with each other. And they're not ever used to see
my kids have never seen me
with a man.
Love someone, so they're like, I love you.
Whoa, mom was never this way with a man. Now all of a sudden, mom is like very affectionate with a woman.
Yeah.
Or person. I don't know what to call myself. I always stumble on that when I say woman. I know my like scientific, birth.
Your parts are woman parts. That's what,
And the kids still pretty much call me she, her, and I don't correct them ever.
I've been correcting my older two.
Yeah.
Even
Jet sometimes. I mean, Jet gets it.
We had a whole conversation about it last night.
But he reverts back. But you know who also reverted back? My mom.
Yeah.
My mom reverted back
it's a
too.
Disappointment.
And she tries. So I give her all the credit in the world because she tries. But she's living.
You know what I think it is? I think it's constant exposure.
Yes.
The more people
100%.
that are exposed to you more, the people that are exposed to you more are the best at it.
Yeah. 100%. Now, my mom, if she hangs out with me long enough, but she was using my dead name quite like comfortably, which tells me the family, like she's staying with her son and daughter-in-law, and so her staying there, they will not address me. They won't respect it. They won't address me by what I've asked since 2009. So there's that. So like she just kind of reverts back, and then she tries again when she's around me, which I get it. I try not to get too hung up on it. But with the kids, for me, like they're
learning so many things all at once.
Much. They're adjusting to so much. Like it is like the least of my concern for them to say they, them. Like honestly, like that doesn't even cross my mind. I want them more to understand and be respectful and not say, it hurt my heart when my son said, I don't like the rainbow flag.
Yeah.
That fucking hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt really angry towards him in that moment. And I had to swallow that anger down because the things that I wanted to say to him are things that I want to say to other people in my life that have not accepted me for who I am and have treated me differently now. And so
I find it so funny when people are like, somebody commented on one of my videos recently and said something like, looks like you fell into the latest trend or something regarding being gay. And I was just thinking to myself, like, the people that think that we do this because it's like cool, when really it's so much fucking work and it's so hard and you lose so many people and you
the
have to
circle gets smaller and
continuously
smaller.
stand up for yourself over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, you
Yeah.
think I'm doing this because it's cool?
Well, and what I say back to people, and please start saying this too, because it's the fucking truth. It's not a trend. The thing that happened is we all have a platform now and we have a voice. And with that, we have representation and we're able to share our stories. Now, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I mean, YouTube has not been around that fucking long,
No.
you guys. So, like, when you think of where we are today and how TikTok is not that old. And so for people to be able to have a platform and say, hey, this is who I am, and other people start to say, holy shit, that's me too. I've been trying to figure this out my whole life. And everybody has just said, you're just a tomboy. You're just a tomboy. Now go over there and play with your brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, no, it's not a fucking trend. It's just that there's more public speaking to be able to say how you are and what you feel.
It's the realization that there's a lot more people out there just like you.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Which is why also everybody's best friends live across the fucking country, and relationships end up becoming U-Haul lesbian
most
relationships.
lesbian
very
relationships are distance, long distance, because there's not that many. Like, I live in a small ass town. Like, there are, we do have a LGBTQ friendly community, but it's slim pickings out there.
It's slim pickings, yeah. Yep.
I don't know. So, back to the whole, like, I don't like the pride flag, just realizing, like, 1 minute the kids are like, Mom, please don't use that pride bag. I don't want people to think I'm gay,
that's really what it boils down to, is that, like, our kids, I think, I hate using this word, but I think they're low-key embarrassed by us in public sometimes.
Every kid is embarrassed by their parent, though.
But it's not even that they're embarrassed of, like, who we are. I know my kids have never felt like I embarrass them. It's us being together that embarrasses them. Like, they don't want other people to look at it and be like, oh, you have two moms, or your parents are gay.
I see that changing, not with all of the kids at once, but I see the kids starting.
I was so proud of Max when he was like, I'm here with my parents, and, like, turned around.
Oh yeah, Max.
He didn't even, like, for a second hesitate.
No,
Max and Kyle are, like, so past it already.
When I came out to Max and Kyle, which are my 17 and almost 18-year-old and 15-year-old, when I came out to them, it was in the car. It's always in the car. That's where I feel the safest. It's like an enclosed space. Nobody's going to interrupt. We're safe in the car. And Kyle said, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
And Max was like, yeah, fine by me. Is anything in the house going to change? Nope, nothing in the house is going to. Now, there have been changes in the house, but they tell me all the time, we love all of the changes. We love what you've been doing with the house.
Oh my God, we did some cool stuff with the house this weekend. Well, this week.
Well, for days.
I feel like it's been Sunday for 17 days at this point. But
this long holiday weekend, 4th of July, you get the long weekend. Hopefully you got that. We hit it hard.
We did. We're not done yet. We have shit to do today.
We tore up carpet.
Mm-hmm.
We painted.
I cleaned out a fucking dryer duct, or what is it called? The dryer vent.
Yeah, our dryer was, like, not performing up to par, and I was like, I think maybe the
vent.
I
fixed a kitchen sink. I'm a plumber now.
After the contractor said, hey, I fixed it for you. No, he didn't.
I got down there and fixed it
I had this whole thought process with myself again, not man hating, but I have seen this behavior over and over again with men, where y'all do something just enough to, like, get us to shut the fuck up. Just enough to
say you fucking did it.
To say you did it, and you walk away, like, kind of patting yourself on the back, like, yeah, I took care of that real quick.
And it was fixed for a total of 7 minutes.
Yeah. And then Ember gets down there and, like, fucking investigates. And she's like, what's this piece down here that's just fucking hanging out down here by itself? Oh, could that be something that this tube needs?
Yeah.
And she fixed it.
I did.
You're amazing.
Thanks.
You're fucking amazing.
Every time I do some small little project, I'm like, I'm an electrician now. I'm a plumber now.
Yeah, after you
I'm a painter.
After you fixed it. Well, don't go that far, babe.
Baby,
Your
doing
nose
good
is peeling.
with it. I know, because I got
Can I
burned
peel
yesterday.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. You're getting there with the painting.
I stood on the top of that ladder and risked my life.
I'm talking more about the cleanup.
Is it
and
the
prep.
stroke? Do I not stroke right?
The stroke is a little transparent. You gotta like lather that shit up with paint and like get your coat on.
Yeah, you really do. You put a lot of paint on yours. It's like sloppy. It's like.
All right, enough. Enough with the sound effects. I don't know, you guys. We're living.
What else did we do?
We're living the dream. We did a lot. Yesterday we had a beach day.
Maddox helped a lot with all the house projects, though. That's another thing.
Both of the boys have been helping. Our oldest right now, Mason, is at the park with the kids just so we can record this podcast.
Yeah, they've been doing good.
And like we're not even having to ask anymore. They're really stepping it up, and that is huge. And what I was gonna say about the kids feeling sometimes embarrassed of having, lesbian moms and the change and the this and the that, I will say the conversations that I've had with at least your older boys tell me that they are starting to really recognize the love between us and how our family operates now. And I think that love is more powerful to them, to where they want to protect it and make sure that it's respected, because they see us together and they want us to remain together. And I had an interesting conversation with Maddox yesterday where he was just like, I want this forever. I don't ever want to lose you. And like we've been having some deep conversations, and hearing him say like how much he loves me and how much he thinks of me as family is like, it brings tears to my eyes, because it's pretty incredible.
I wish I could have heard that conversation.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
Yeah, we have some, for a 10-year-old, that boy can have some deep conversations.
Yeah, he's a thinker. He dives into his thoughts real hard, and most of the time internalizes them, but I'm really glad to hear that he's talking to you about them. Yeah. That makes me really happy. I have seen that he has opened up to you quickly, more quickly than I thought that it would happen. But he trusts you a lot.
Yeah, I think that with the kids, I'm just trying to be there when they need me and not force my way in and be like, hey, we're a family.
But everybody love it right now.
Like, be there when they need me and like spend time. And I spent time with Mason, and we did our shopping and running errands, and like I love running errands and getting shit done, and knowing that he likes that too. Like,
I don't.
He can be
not like my favorite thing.
Yeah, he can be my new like
errand buddy.
Like, let's go. We're gonna get this shit done. Let's. He likes going to different places. So yeah. I think we're growing. I think we're making strides, and there's a piece of me that is nervous for the summer to end.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because the three boys now, like, they'll be going back to Colorado with their dad, and like that's gonna be, I think we're gonna get to a place where we feel safe and comfortable speaking about it, and knowing like how it's going to affect not just you but me and the family and all of the things. And
it's not going to be easy.
There's things that we're like, okay, we're looking forward to you getting a break because you've been a mom since you were 17 years old, and you haven't had the time to really focus on your career and like settling
and just like breathe for a second.
Yeah, like settling into your world. Like, it's just been like mom life.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit when we first started recording podcasts, and I guess it's been a while since we've talked about it again, kind of the whole mom journey part of it. Yeah, it's going to be rough. I'm going to cry a lot. So just be ready for that.
Yeah.
I've never been away from my kids like that. So I am scared, but I am also I realize that they have a dad that loves them too, that needs to spend time with them too. He texted me this morning and asked if he could FaceTime with them later. And I know he misses them, just like I'm going to miss them, but that's part of it, right? Like, whether you're across the country or not, you have to share your kids through a divorce, and not everybody, it doesn't look the same for everyone. So
I will say, learning co-parenting and sharing kids, the hardest the first year is the hardest.
Yeah.
The first year is the hardest because it's all of the new things of like figuring out the holiday schedule and like how that looks in your life now and how you make that work so like both parents equally get to have like their special moment, and always putting the kids' interest first. And it's just a lot of compromise. And
Well, and I feel like the shitty part too is that like you divorce the person
then you have to
and you have to fucking communicate with them so much more.
I say that all the time. And, you know, a lot of people will want to get a divorce, but not get a divorce because of, you know, so many different reasons. And one of them is you have to communicate and talk with that person more than you did when you were married. When
You're
you
like,
were,
damn, you didn't text me this much like when we were married.
you can ignore the fuck out of your husband or wife with the quickness when you're like in a toxic relationship and you're living together and you're just like, we're together, but like whatever. Like,
and then you split up finally and you can't ignore them anymore.
if you have kids, if you have
Yeah.
kids, if you don't have kids, I mean, life just goes on. You just
Peace
like, that was a
out.
little blip. We're getting past that and we're going over here. But when you have kids, all of a sudden you're like,
See, and I don't know what that's like. I've never gone through a split up without kids. So,
yeah, same. Well, I will say, I think we're handling it well. I think we're all one big team.
I think no matter what your journey looks like, life is going to be a learning experience in the moment of. So, like, whether it has to do with co-parenting or not, we'll figure it out as it comes. And
we're all like, I feel like I was saying, like, we're all a team. Like Tommy, Jeff, me, you, the kids, like we're all just trying to do the best we can. And I know there's like a lot of like outside opinions or questions where people are like, well, who gets the kids? And
I will say this, the fact that the four of us, me, you, Tommy, and Jeff, could probably sit, let's even throw Mike in there. Me, you, Tommy, Jeff, Mike,
Steve. Let's throw them all in. Let's throw them all in the mix.
The fact that all six of us could probably stand in the same room and not scream at each other, fight with each other, and be okay. Now, inside, I'd probably be like, what the fuck is happening?
Right.
But the fact that we can do that is impressive.
Yeah.
And speaks volumes.
I was cooking breakfast or something the other day for the kids, the little ones, and we were having conversations about when they go back. They've been calling it their real house. When they go back to their real house.
Which is so funny to me.
In Colorado. I mean, like, give them time, though.
I told them, I was like, this is your real house, too.
I think it's hard for little kids to start to understand, like, now they have two houses, and, like, the house they're going back to, like, to them, that is their real house.
Yeah, well, that's the only house they've ever known.
That's the only house they have ever known. Yeah. But we were having some conversations about their dad, about Jeff, and they straight up asked me if I love Jeff.
Interesting.
And they said, you know, do you love our dad? And I said, yeah, I do. I do love your dad. Like, in a completely, like,
very hard to explain type of way.
Very hard to explain type of way to kids. But my answer to them was yes. I wasn't going to be like, fuck no,
that dude.
I don't love your dad, you know?
No,
like, I stole his woman, you know?
There's a common love between, because I feel the same way. If Jet were to ask me the same thing about Tommy, the answer would be yes. So
even like when Jeff is like FaceTiming the kids and all of a sudden like they're like, and here's Kirby.
And you guys say hi to each other every time.
Yeah, we say hi. Or when we were moving out, when we were moving your stuff out of the house.
You and Jeff like hid for
and
a
it
hot
got
minute.
it got like a little emotional with family members, you know, and stuff. And I was inside and I looked at Jeff and I said, I'm gonna hide in here with you. And
for a second. He was like, yep.
Yeah, cool. You know, so I mean, we're doing the best we can. Everybody is we're just, you know, we just want to be.
You know, the more I sit here and think about it, I'm actually really fucking proud of us for being able to maintain healthy relationships with people. Because really, when you start to think about it, it could have been real easy not to.
There were definitely ugly moments between all of us.
Oh, 100%.
Ugly moments between all of us in some form.
And there's still going to be ugly moments.
But I will say, yeah, we're all making this work. And I don't know. I guess the biggest thing I just want to say is like the more we start to open up and talk about when the younger kids do go back to Colorado to be with their dad, and like respectfully, like I want to be able to share our feelings. I want to be able to talk about it. And I want to be able to have a safe, open space to allow people to say, like, if you're going through this and you don't know how it's going to work, here's how it's working for us. And here's some things that we've done. But I swear to God, one motherfucker comes and tries to attack for saying like, oh, you guys don't have your kids. You're not doing this or you're not doing that. Like, show up in our world. I beg you, please, to show up and see how this all works in fucking person, because I guarantee you will not leave the same.
Yeah.
Speechless? A little speechless?
I just sometimes get a little turned on when I watch you get defensive about motherhood.
I do, because people are so quick to put down somebody, particularly a woman, a mother, and make them feel smaller or less of something if they don't have full 100% of something.
Yeah.
And
no, I feel
I am
that.
very protective of that. There are multiple parents here that all love their kids. So yeah, I get a little testy.
You do. It's like earlier when we watched that episode and she was like, "You're crazy. You just got a little crazy," but I liked it.
Yeah, you're crazy too though.
I'm absolutely crazy. I claim that. I claim crazy. I can't help it. You knew it going into it.
I like a little crazy.
I know, you've told me.
I mean,
I'm probably borderline too much crazy though.
I don't know, dude. I grew up with crazy women in my life, so it's just like that.
I'm like the good kind of crazy though. Am I?
Do you want to start to unpack this now, or you want to save it for another episode?
Okay, on next week's episode, we're gonna talk about Ember's level of crazy. Great.
All right. Well, so today we're gonna get back into some housework. This fucking Sunday, and I'm nervous going back to work. I have like that Sunday anxiety.
Okay, can I throw something in there real quick?
What?
I think that's part of your emotional thing today. I don't think it's all the alcohol. I think you know that you have to get back to work tomorrow and you've had 4 days off and you don't want to do that. And so it's causing like a shift in your mental state.
Yeah, because I think that when you have the time off and you can just like have some time to get stuff done around the house, to spend time with your family, to wake up slow, to do the things that really light you up inside.
It feels more natural.
It feels
what we've
natural.
done the last 4
and
days.
Then like knowing like when you're going back to work and the pressure that you have at work and the amount of attention and detail and all of the things. And when you get home after a work day, yes, it's still only, late afternoon by the time you get home, heading into evening. And it's like, you feel like your time slot for anything like personal is just
so limited.
Yeah. And you go to bed because you're exhausted, and you wake up and you do it again. And it's that grind, it's that repeated grind. And I'll be honest, I've been daydreaming a lot about and manifesting this too, that in 10 years I'm going to be a millionaire. And like I will say this and people will look at me like I'm fucking crazy, and I'm like, in 10 years I'm going, and then maybe that's like, that's so far away, why wouldn't you pick something sooner? I'm telling you right now, in 10 years I will be a millionaire. And
we're going to live in Costa Rica. We've already talked
possibly
about that.
We're going to start to travel, and we're going to see where we want to live. It's not going to be the US.
It's not going to be the US. We're going to get out of the country.
We're going to go. Especially with this being an election year. I am not going to get into politics here, but gosh. Like that right there is like, I want out. I want out. I'm done.
I'm right there with you.
And hopefully, we're raising, it's interesting because it's like there's a piece of us like sometimes we're like, ugh, can't be around another man. Like what, like men just like, and not like full on man hating, but like they speak to you differently. They treat you like there's just so many different things. I could just like take each individual layer and like kind of like
pick it apart, tell you why you don't like, and tell you little thing. Yeah.
But then I think knowing that we're surrounded by tiny little men, soon to be, boys to teens to men, I think I just started thinking of the album Boys to Men.
Thank you. So did I.
Yeah, good album right there.
As soon as you said it,
that's a good love-making album right there. Now I'm like thinking of all the lyrics in my head. Okay, but like knowing that we are raising men, while we are still unpacking and realizing the things that we struggle with when it comes to interacting with a man, I think we are doing our best to raise our children, our soon to be someday men, in a way that hopefully can help this world.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is here in 10-ish years, when this slew of lesbians that all came out later and have been raising children, when their kids and our kids are old enough, I'm really curious to see how different that little group of men are, because I think boys raised by lesbians could turn out really fucking great.
It's interesting
because I'm gonna raise them without the parts of men. Like, I'm gonna try to tweak it, you know?
Well, it's interesting too, because we've had men say to us, like, you can't raise boys. They need a dad. They need a dad. Okay. But we are. We're doing it.
We're doing it.
And like seeing like our 10-year-old
get on hands and knees and
rip up carpet, and me showing him how to use the tools, or me saying, let's go, you're going to learn how to grill a steak, or you're going to learn how to grill a burger. Now, I will say, I don't want to just be like, I'm showing him all of this and his dad didn't do this or whatever. But I will say, I stop and include them. I'm not just like, I'm the man of the house, let me just step aside, everybody. Let me just put this food on the grill for you. I'm raising these kids to be independent little creatures. Whatever they decide to be, they might not even decide they want to be a man. Who knows? Whatever they want to decide, right? Yeah. And so raising them in a way where they can step up and say like, hey, I know how to use that tool. I know how to cook this. I know how to do that. Not because of a gender of like, it's just because I fucking included them in the process. That's it. I gave them an opportunity, a space to say like, yeah, let me learn how to do that. Not just like, well, son, when you're a man, we'll sit down and have that conversation. No, I told our 10-year-old yesterday, hey, if you have questions about girls, or there's things you want to talk about, you can come to me and feel safe and openly talk about them. I'm not going to say, well, son, we're going to sit down later and we're going to talk about the birds and the bees.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
Why do you do that accent every time?
I don't know. It feels natural to me. That would be my dad voice.
Well, son,
sit down here. You know, when I got the birds and the bee talk, it was so fucking uncomfortable.
I don't think I ever got it. Not from a parent.
Because my dad was the religious person that he is. He sat down with the Bible and he started reading from the Bible when I had questions. And that was so uncomfortable, and probably what led into like my guilt of masturbation with the Bible. It was because that's how he taught me. And I'm still healing from that in therapy.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're doing a great job, and I think that our kids are great. They're kids. Yeah. They're happy, they're healthy, and they're watching two people love each other and love them. And that's more than a lot of kids get. So
and they're learning like that it's okay
to us.
Like they're learning that it's okay to be emotional or to have feelings and not to have to suck it up and hide it. And you know, like I just think I'm happy. I'm happy with seeing, like, I just keep thinking like the first week or two we were like, holy shit, what are we doing? Like, oh my God. And now, you know, summer is like, I hate to say summer's almost over, but like we're like in the damn near middle of the summer, and it's just like you can start to see it, like the window closing a little bit more. But we've come a long way.
We've come a very long way.
We've come a long way together, all of us. So high five. High five to that. Now we got to go kick some ass in the house. I need to get some new blades so I can cut up some more carpet.
Where?
Down in the basement.
Oh. All right. Okay, we're out of here.
Audi 5000. Do people still say that? Did you ever say that growing up?
Fuck no. What does that even mean?
Okay, never mind. Bye.